What's up, guys? Today we're going to go through a bit of an arrow build. We're going to work through this pretty quick, but we're going to build out some 27s. I've got the new Altra Centrum Premier 27s here with all the goodies and components. So I'm just going to kind of walk through this and give you guys a little taste about what goes into building an arrow. Let's get this thing set up. I just want to take a look and see every one of these that we've tested. The consistency has been absolutely awesome. So we're going to get this thing set up here. If I can do this without knocking the arrow off. All right, let's get this thing all set up. Man, you can see these things are super consistent. Really impressed with the tolerance on these Ultra arrows. That's pretty awesome. So I'm really not going to go ahead and, mark the spine on these things or anything like that. They were pretty consistent all the way across the board. We could play with that when we're shooting them in later. But one thing I am going to check is I'm going to check the squareness of the nock end to start. And it's something that we always do. So you can see we're just going to take silver Sharpie. If we can get the silver Sharpie to work. And we're just going to go all the way around this rim just to make sure this is all perfectly square. Everybody forgets about the nock end. The nock end is just as important, if not more important, than the point end. So we're just going to make sure these are nice and square. So we're just going to keep doing that until all that silver silver's off there, nice and square. We're going to go with pin nocks on these. These are Altra's components. Altra's making all of these components. They're machining them in-house. So we've had the hunting shafts in here for about a year now, and the tolerances and that stuff was really, really tight, which was awesome. I would assume these are going to be just as tight. So let's just kind of test fit them. Yeah, they're going to be nice and snug. You can see that's going to fit really good. So let's get some glue, some paper towels. We'll get one of these done up. I'm going to use some goat tough glue. On the back end, a lot of times I use hot melt for this stuff, but with this being the nock end, I've already, prior to the video, I spun these and they were consistent across the board, so I didn't have to cut anything off the back. Usually when I cut, though, I'll cut a portion off the back end and a portion off the front end to make sure these things are spinning perfectly true. But these spun really nice. So, like I said, we just kind of took a look at the spine. We checked the squareness on the back of the arrow. We test fit the component. So I'm going to go ahead and just use some goat tough glue. We're just going to put a line here, line there. Maybe we'll do one more because these are nice and fat. And we're just going to spin that in here. Push it in there nice and tight. Roll that off of there. Cool. That's in there. All right, nocks. Where did I put my nocks? Here we go. So we've got right here, got some biter pin nocks. Usually I'd use I like AAE IP nocks a lot, but we're all out of those. So we're going to try these out. I've never used these nocks before, but I've heard good things about them. So we're going to give them a shot. And these are just going to be press fit on. I already checked these for the fit on my string. They fit really nice. So we're just going to push these bad boys on here. There we go. There's our pin side. So now we're going to get in some fletching. And we've got this pretty well set. I want to show you guys something. And what I did with this jig, if you notice how we've got this set, I've already got this preset, but this is set to about a 2.5 degree helical. But what we did with this to make sure we were getting nice adhesion is actually cut the top of this off to shorten it up a little bit and filed this down so that when it's going on an arrow shaft, it sits nice and flush. Now you can see when we take that vane and we put it in here and we get it set up, there's going to be no gaps on that thing whatsoever. So we're going to get a nice clean adhesion on that. Awesome. So we're going to go ahead and get this rocking and rolling. So I've got it in the clamp already. We're going to use a primer pen. I have had a lot of caffeine today. Let's see how steady my hands are for fletching. Should be funny. And we've got Bob Smith Industries MaxiCure Extra Thick 10 to 25 second glue. All right. So we're just going to run just a nice clean line down this thing. Look at that. That's a pretty steady hand for all the damn caffeine I've had today. And then we're just going to spread it out. All right, get this on here. We're going to get some good pressure. I feel like when people fletch, a lot of times they don't put enough pressure on here to get that glue to adhere. So we're just going to hold some pressure for 10-15 seconds. And then we'll remove the clamp and we'll rotate this. And usually if there's any extra glue, we'll wipe that off with a Q-tip, but I think we got that one pretty clean right there. All right, so we'll get a couple more ready. All right, we got one fletch there. And we've just got a right 2.5 degree offset on there. Now, lengthwise, these are a 200 spline. And we're going to be putting 200 grain Altra points on there. And again, these are being machined in-house up at the outdoor group. So tolerances on them are nice and tight. Before we do anything, we are going to end up hot melting these in just so that we can test and shoot through paper. But basically my process in this is going to be, and I won't go through all this on video, but what we're going to do is we're going to cut these down to about 30 inches to start. I have a 30.5 inch draw length, and we're going to hot melt in these points, and we're going to shoot them through paper, and we're going to see how they're tearing. I'm going to anticipate that that's probably going to be pretty good. But if it's tearing any bit of weak, which I don't think it will be, then we'll cut it down a little bit shorter. But more or less, that's going to be my arrow build for the Ultras. I'll do a follow-up video to let you guys know how these are shooting. So thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to click the subscribe button if you enjoyed what you're watching. We're going to try to put out videos every week. Thanks.